Mata Fuseni, who was equally in action for the 4 lateral defenders of the Black Princesses. The midfield success Amia ensured that she took Ghana to where they wanted. With all the passes that she gave out, success was on top. And the goals, Mefia Nyame getting the goals for the Black Princesses, and then equally a team player like Pfizer Seidu and the Mariam Ponsa, the substitute, who came in and ensured that she equally had a goal, another to give Ghana the 3 goals that they wanted. So Ghana's performance was indeed top-notch yesterday.
Okay, so Esther, it's quickly. We don't have much time behind us, so we have to go straight into today's matches. It's Nigeria coming up against Niger. Far enough, we have seen Niger. When you're talking about under 20 or the youth championship, Nigeria takes Africa to wherever the level that they have to go to. Now they are meeting an average side, which is Nigeria. What are we expecting? Do we expect into today's game?
Today's game is not a match of equals, in as much as football is involved. But there is no way you can say today's game is going to be a match of equals. Looking at the precedents that we had, Ghana playing against the Nigerians on Wednesday at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Ghana recording a comprehensive victory of 11-0 in the friendly that was played. So you look at the weight and then the ranking of Ghana, scoring 11, and then you look at a team like Nigeria, who are World Cup quarter-finalists in the recent World Cup FIFA Under-20 World Cup that was held for women in Costa Rica. Nigeria, their Falconets happened to have been quarter-finalists in that encounter. So it's a different game altogether. You wouldn't say it's a game of equals, because Niger are now, in terms of women's football, even in terms of the men, they are now evolving. And for their women, you can't really say much for them. And it's not a game of equals. And I'm so much optimistic that what the Nigerians, the technical team, need to do most in this game is that they need to hold on and avoid ensuring that they concede quite a number of goals, playing against one of the strongest sides in women's football in the continent.
So are you going to shape a basket of goals here today or not? It's Niger who has been the underdogs, as we are talking, and then comparing them to Nigeria. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that it's going to be a basket of goals. But only time will tell. They have played even against Benin, in which they were walloped 7-1. And then this one, your final prediction, or even for anything that we have to see. We are seeing Niger, who has lost 7-1 to Benin, and then on their way they lost 6-1 again to Benin at home. So looking at it, Benin doesn't have a good record when you come to the youth championship, and then this is how it's going to be, because it has been a youthful football that we've been organizing. This is why CAF has come out to at least bring this tournament for our active or our youth girls to also have or take part into whatever they want to, because under 20 champions have been dominant. If it's not qualifying to the world stages, it means we don't have any active football going around. So CAF organized this thing for the zones so that we can play among the region, the sub-region, and then we can move forward. So they are keeping our girls active in every moment that we do. Kind courtesy, these are the sponsors who are helping us today in our match. We have Medimafo Herbal Clinic, Max by Reflow Sanitary Pad. We have Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, and then Nafa Feminine Wash. These are the sponsors for the day. Medimafo Herbal Clinic, Max by Reflow Sanitary Pad, and Endpoint Homeopathic, Nafa Feminine Wash. So these are the sponsors that we will be bringing you live of this match at Max TV, sports, entertainment, and more. This is how the match is. It's match day 2, and Nigeria is coming up against Niger. How is it going to fare like? Yesterday, Ghana made sure they pick up the first win. As a host, they are having 3 goals and then 3 points. Can't see the captain of the side, Stella Nyamiche, Mary Amponsa, and then Mefia Nyame grabbing or putting their name on the score sheet for Ghana. So rightly, we'll be moving to match day 2 when Nigeria is taking on Niger this afternoon, and we are going to at least having a good exercise. We know Nigeria, when it comes to youth football, they are always dominating, but Nigeria, the underdogs, are coming out to face their giants in West Africa, which is Nigeria. This is how it's going to be like. They've already warmed up. They've already made sure they are fit for this game. So this is the WAFU Zone B Under 20 Girls Championship that is really happening right in Ghana, Kumasi, at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So this is how it's going to be. We still talk about the chances, how it's going to be. Fairly, I know people are getting the results of how it's going to happen, but this is how it's go. So very soon, we'll be seeing Nigeria coming out of the tunnel to face Niger.
Good afternoon, Ghana. Good afternoon, Africa. It's match day 2 of the WAFU Zone B U20 Girls Cup. Welcome to Kumasi Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where World Cup quarterfinalists Falconets of Nigeria are playing against Niger. I am Esther Abankwa. Good to have you with us for the next 90 minutes. A different game altogether involving these teams. And looking at how prepared they are heading into this game, you would wonder how the Nigerians would be able to hold on to the fearsome attack of the Falconets of Nigeria. This is a huge game here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Yesterday was a different game altogether that the hosting team, Ghana's Black Princesses, squared off with their counterparts from Benin, and it was indeed a comprehensive victory for the Black Princesses. Different game here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, different teams, and this is Group B. Yesterday was Group A. Another game would be played tomorrow and the subsequent days. In no time, these two teams will be ushered on to the pitch, and this is a WAFU B U20 Girls Cup right here from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. A maiden edition altogether being organized by the Confederation of African Footballs, and this is another sub-African tournament that involves those in the West African region. This means that teams that are solely based are the ones that will compete in this particular competition. Inaugural Cup awaiting a different winner to end up with it. But which team would it be? Is it going to be Ghana, the hosting team, or perhaps Nigeria or Ivory Coast? We equally have Burkina Faso, Togo, all of them part of those that are participating in this maiden edition altogether. Another version of it equally will be organized in the month of July this year, basically for the boys that are under 20 years. But this is different. This is girls' affairs, and this is huge. Women's football evolving, women's football developing, women's football being embraced by all and sundry. And interestingly, Ghana's referee is taking charge of today's game, and that would imply that Salifu Barkisu, just as she walked earlier, is the fourth official, but the center referee for the day's affairs, Rita Nkata from Ghana. Before then, let's listen to the respective national anthems of these two teams.
Of the Republic of Niger. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour la chanson du Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez toujours arrêter pour l'hymne national du Nigeria.
Let not our labor be in vain. That is the national anthem of the Falconets of Nigeria. And that has been their success story in all their respective championships and tournaments they have participated. This happens to be one of the vibrant, not even the vibrant, the most vibrant U20 women's team ever. Since the introduction of the World Cup by FIFA for those under 20 years for girls in 2002, the Falconets made an appearance at the FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup, and that was when they had a feel of the global model. And since then, their success story has been out for all and sundry to witness it. Nigeria's starting lineup, they have the likes of Itim Iyere Sunday on bench, but for those starting, they have Ingbechi, they equally have Florence Shaw, Obuchi, Alani, and then Oyezini, Chinere, Oladipo, Bello, Oka, and then Aja Kaye. These are the starting lineups for the Falconets of Nigeria, and there they are in their green and white, ready for this big game. And let it be made known that this team were quarter-finalists in last year's FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup. The referees for today's affairs: Rita Nkasa from Ghana. She is taking charge of this crucial encounter. Group B affairs for this WAFU B Under 20 Girls Cup being held in Ghana, basically at the Garden City. And how are Niger, on the other hand, lined up for this game? Niger have these charges ahead of this encounter. They have Chaibu, Achatau, Baruma, Leonard, Tuare. Equally, they have Amadou, Abdul, Illa, and then Ali. These are those that will be there. On their bench, they have the likes of Khadija, all of them waiting to take their turn in this particular game. Pascaline Zainab, Henry Leonard, who is part of those starting, and then they have Ibrahim Mayaki. And that is the bench of Niger. But Nigeria will love to stride on what they do most. A huge game that Africa's most populous country have their reps, the Falconets. How far will they go in this tournament? They are more than a resurgent side. Their coach assembled most of the best that they have, transition just like they did by Ghana's Black Princesses, and most of these players were part of their under-17 team that took part in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in India. And there we get started with the first attempt on target by the Falconets. What a game at hand, and what should we expect?
So this is how it's going to be in Nigeria. The giants of Africa, Falconets, are facing Niger. And this is going to be first of its kind. These two teams are meeting. We'll see how it goes at the end of the 90 minutes.
Nigeria on the counter. Corner kick in less than a minute for the Falconets. That is how potent they are up front. Huge game. They know that goals would factor, and they need to start getting them just like the Black Princesses did yesterday in their encounter. Corner kick. A short one taken by Nigeria's Esther. Huge block by Niger. Only as far as where Chinere Messi is. Okpeyemi on the attack. A great clearance to deny Okpeyemi from breaking the deadlock for the Falconets. Corner kick. The second successive corner kick for the Nigerians. They opted for the shot. Will this be for the long? And that would imply that the goalkeeper of Niger has this to defend. Free kick. Amina Bello was the one who committed that foul. As such, the infringement would be given to Niger. WAFU U20 Girls Tournament. Nigeria on the attack again. Adobe Aka to Okpeyemi. Straight to defense. Oluchi finds Messi. Chinere. Messi sends the ball back to Chidima Ogbuchi. Lovely play by the Nigerians, taking their time to lure and woo the Nigerians from their own half. Oluchi. Nice pass, finding the feet of Esther. Esther Ajakaye. Suraya Abdul cleared only as far as where Aduobi Oka is. Esther with the ball. Another tease and cross of target. Goal kick. It seems this is how it's always going to be for the first period. And Niger would have to ensure that they keep holding on, at least not to concede in the early minutes of the game. Zainabu Abdo, free kick for a foul on Amina Bello of Nigeria. Oluchi back to Comfort, Flora Shaw. Comfort to Victoria Alani. Chinere Messi. And Niger would have to fight to at least have possession of the ball, looking at the dominance of the Nigerians. This is a team that has seen it all, both on the African continent and on the global stage. Esther in a very good position. Goal beautifully scored by Esther Okpeyemi Ajakaye. In less than 5 minutes, Niger have conceded. A long day in office for Niger. Conceding too early. You can't blame them that much. Esther Okpeyemi Ajakaye. Nigeria 1, Niger 0.
It's much expected, Esther. I don't think it's too early for Nigeria to concede at this juncture, but they have been defending since the blast of the whistle. But as much expected, Nigeria have really made sure they take that lead to maybe pushing them to see what they can do in the match. Esther has been a thorn in the flesh of the Niger defenders, so they are trying to contain her, and it's much expected that at this time swerving or trying to weave herself up to get that goal for Nigeria. 1-0 up.
Nigeria, another attack by Nigeria. Esther, but this time around goalkeeper Samira Adam having a very clear view of it and cabin of that danger for Niger. Throw in. For how long can Niger hold on, conceding in less than 5 minutes? Esther, a poor delivery this time around from Esther Onyedizde. Nigeria's Super Falcons having had a first fall of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in 2002. They have made it to every edition of FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, and they have indeed been runners-up on 2 occasions when they lost to Germany on both occasions in 2010 and 2014 respectively. But since their maiden appearance 2002, in 2004, Nigeria once again a strike balloned away. This was easy to score than to miss, but nice attempt from Adiobi Oka. She knew she should have scored. In 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2018, and 2022. That is the success story of the Falconets of Nigeria. They've made it to every edition of the FIFA tournament. Nigeria 1, Niger 1. If you just joined, you are watching a live coverage of the WAFU Zone B U20 Girls Tournament, currently underway in Kumasi, in Ghana's Garden City. Throw in to Nigeria. Niger are in white, playing from left to right, whereas Nigeria are in green, playing from right to left. Esther, good control with the first touch, sends a delivery in, quite not on target. Goal kick. They keep asking the right questions. Aduobi Oka Goal kick. A lovely score from Adiza that at least the fans of Niger are cheering up and applauding. Looking at the pressure, any little attempt from Niger would be cherished. They are playing against the best in the continent. Victoria to Oladipo. Nigerians once again. And Niger are finding it difficult to tame these attacks. Oluchi, Esther, Bello. Esther straight to Chinere Messi. Shikurat Oladipo. Good delivery on target. Goal kick. Other games in Group B would be played this evening at 6 p.m. And that is a game that would see Burkina Faso playing against Togo. Esther for Falconets. Victoria. Victoria to Oluchi. Comfort. Chidima. Nigerians slowly building up from behind as they try to entice Niger out of their comfort zone for them to have easy infiltration. Esther for Nigeria, free kick. Free kick for Nigeria, 10 minutes. Proud to this commencement of this tournament, Niger involved themselves in a friendly with the Black Princesses. And at the end of the day, they were whitewashed, they were trashed, they were beaten into the pulp by the Black Princesses. 11-0 was the scoreline. Referee requesting for a retake. Goal kick to Niger. Samira Adam to take the spot kick for Niger. Esther, she couldn't control the ball so much to her she would have desired. And this is the first touch for Nigeria's goalkeeper Shukura Ayomide Bakari. Back to Oladipo. Nigeria's biggest victory in international games has been the resounding win that they had when they played against Sierra Leone. At the end of the game, it was Nigeria's Falconets 10, Sierra Leone 0. And their worst defeat on the global stage has been the 6-0 defeat that they suffered in the hands of Japan at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup held in Papua New Guinea in 2016. Nigeria, second goal. Nigeria 2, Niger 0. Long day. And I'm finding it difficult to comprehend why Adam Samira always applauds when they concede. Perhaps her means of cheering her teammates on. Esther Ajakaye gets her name on the score sheet. Nigeria 2, Niger 0. Tough day A tough day ahead for Niger. They start again. How can they hold on? Nigeria. Some of the fans during the warm-up of the Falconets were telling their Nigerian team that they want them to score 20 goals today. You would wonder if that message really went well and rammed home in the ears of these players. Free kick to Nigeria. Rita Nkansa, the center referee, taking charge of today's games. Free kick quickly taken by Nigeria. Esther slips. Comfort. Ghana had to fight and win. Nigeria doing the same in this game. Even when Niger tries to come out of their shell, it only lasts for a second. Free kick to Niger. And Niger have Nana Farida. Fortunately for them, she would be able to continue with the game. That possibly could have been their best 11 that they have assembled. Ahmed and Esther is at it again. And this time around, Samira grabs. And look at her swift readiness from Aduobi Oka, with the intention of ensuring that she gets a rebound and just send it home for them to register their third goal. Free kick to Nigeria. Aduobi Oka for Nigeria to Chidimma. Chidimma finding Oluchi. This is a different tournament altogether, aimed at ensuring that these girls have the opportunity of showcasing to the world what they have in terms of their talents, in terms of how they have equally developed in the game of football. WAFU Zone B for U20 girls. Throw in to be taken by Niger. A swift one taken. Niger had to assemble a different team, and as much as in 2019, Niger, their football federation, notified that they wanted to do what the likes of Morocco and Senegal are doing in terms of developing their football, most specifically for women as well. But since 2019, you might say that it has taken a snail pace, but that can only be for a moment. Hopefully by a year, Nigeria with another chance to make it 3. Good save by Samira. Offside against Esther. Samira to the rescue of Niger to avoid Niger suffering and misery in this encounter. Goal kick. You would have indeed. You need to have problems. You need to worry for how long Niger would have to tame and contain this pressure from the Falconets. Shukrat Oladipo to Olichi, and Khadija to Abdul. Blocks only for a moment. Nigeria re-strategize. Samira, she makes it better with the second attempt to gather for Niger. Goal kick. Goal kick taken. Nigeria going again. Amina Bello. Amina taking her time. Short pass to Oluchi. Diko Abdullahi Traore for Niger. Doing her best for the first time. Niger crossing the center line in this game with almost 20 minutes played. Niger finding their voices, trying to regain their confidence and at least also pose a threat. Amina Bello. Suraya Abdul for Niger. Great clearance. Nigeria free kick. 20 minutes. Nigeria 2, Niger 0. In the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup held in India, Nigeria's most of their players had transitions in order to be part of this team. And that is the best way to go, ensuring that transitions do work in your respective national teams. And that is where cohesion, telepathy, and understanding evolves among these players. And they tend to become a very difficult side to face in all tournaments. Free kick for Nigeria. Esther with the delivery. Nigeria with the possession. Adiobi to Chinere Messi. Chidima back to Shukrat Oladipo. And then the 20 minutes played. Nigeria are yet to allow Niger have a breather. It's been immense pressure upon pressure. Shukrat Oladipo left off the hook. And this would be thrown in. Temporal hold up for a player of Niger who needs attention, and that is Khadija to Abdul. She seems to have picked a knock, and for that matter will need to be treated before the game can continue. But the scoreboard looks good for Nigerians in this encounter. 2 goals in less than 10 minutes. You look at the stats of the Falconets in the recently held FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. In their first game, the Netherlands beat them by 2-0, but they made amends. In their second game against Canada, they beat them by 3-1. And in their third game in the group stages, they beat South Korea by a lone goal to progress to the quarter-final stage of the competition. And that was when they equally beat France by a lone goal. And that is a large chunk of these players who played in the World Cup, most of them here at the Babaira Sports Stadium, partaking in this inaugural competition altogether aimed at developing women's football. Nice initiative by the Confederation of African Football. And the coach of Nigerians would have this opportunity of drumming home what he wants to see from them. This is what coaches are good at. Even with goals, they still know the capabilities and the strengths of their players. They would want to seek for more. Just as the Nigerians are doing, and so are Niger equally doing in this game. What a breakover back to where they need to be for the game to continue. At 6 p.m., Togo have a very tough competition against their neighbors, Burkina Faso. A French affair. Neighbors who are so much familiar with each other. They would need to lock horns and ensure that they get better results. Throw in. Niger to take that. Messi. Khadijatu to Nana Farida. Niger taking their time to at least string one or two passes together, but that only lasted for a few seconds, and Nigerians have reclaimed it. Amina Bello took a deflection. Corner kick. Corner kick for Nigeria. Corner kick for Nigeria, and a privilege for them to extend their lead. You would wonder if Niger can even get a goal in this game. Esther with a corner kick, but Khadija to clears for Niger. Esther back in attack once again. Oladipo back to Esther for Nigeria. Esther to Messi. Oluchi. Nigerians taking their time, and they have occupied the midfield. The center line has been possessed by the Nigerians. The only half that Niger can boast of is their 18-yard box. Nigeria on the attack. Amina Bello. Oluchi. A strike wasn't on target. Goal kick. It's goal kick to Niger. Other games what we played, and this is a tournament which started yesterday and is expected to end on the 3rd of June. Free kick to Nigeria. And look at how tactical Adiobi Oka was, knowing that getting in front of Ahmed can get her an infringement. Shukrat. The ball still hasn't crossed the line yet, and Nigerians have reclaimed it. Messi. Messi was on target for Nigeria in the just ended World Cup. Amina Bello not on target, missed narrowly by Adiobi. And this would mean that Nigeria would have to wait for just goalkeeper Samira to set the ball in for them to come back with the attack. Zainabu Abdul for Niger. Samira containing all the pressure in the goalpost for Niger. Difficult game for Niger. I'm hoping that they would have preferred at least even playing against Burkina Faso or perhaps Togo in their opening game. But since the draw has already been made, together with the fixtures, they need to go and tackle with the hardest side in their group, and that is the Falconets. Adiza, Comfort, Messi, Amina of targets, goal kick with 30 minutes played in this game so far. Goal kick, Samira, she miscues, sending the pass to Aduobi of Nigeria. Shukrat Oladipo to Amina Bello. Amina back to Shukrat. And Niger are left off the hook. Messi strikes. What a goal! Nigeria 3, Niger 0. The fans are smiling. They know that the performance of the Falconets is so huge, it's so tough, it's so difficult. Messi Chinere with a third goal in 30 minutes for Nigeria. Niger's last friendly was 11-0 defeat that they suffered in the hands of the Black Princesses. I'm sure this is not the kind of scoreline they will love to leave here in their first opening game in Group B. Amina Bello receives the ball from the pass of Oluchi. And they will just have to dominate and keep possession to themselves and strike at the time that they would prefer to. It crosses the line. That means it would be thrown in to Niger. Traore Abdoulaye. Chidima. And Niger have one of their players needing attention. Shukura Ayomide is on leave on the field, and this is a surprise because she hasn't been called to make any save at all, and that is because Niger haven't made any threats. Mamani Ali of Niger. WAFU U20 Girls Tournament made possible, brought to your doorsteps, kind courtesy of IMAX Media. And this is where all the sub-region of the African countries who are participants in this WAFU Zone B. And this is where all and sundry are picking their feet and watching the game live as well. So Nigeria 3, Niger 0. Amina for Nigeria. Clearance, but Amina still has before the Niger is cleared. This is the first time that Niger they've participated in such a tournament, having their under-20s in this competition. Chaibu of Niger, with 32 minutes on the clock. The fans, at least, haven't been disappointed because Nigerians have given them great goals to celebrate. Hopefully in the second half, Niger would regroup, re-strategize, and have goals. "35 minutes on the clock approaching. Esther with the first save. Samira had the second, which took a ricochet off Khadija to Abdul. Another corner kick for Nigeria. Corner kick. And Nigeria will take this corner kick. They opt for the short one. Esther sent it back with a huge delivery. Away a first goal kick. Goal kick, Samira to take the goal kick for Niger at the 20 women's team. This is the first ever competition that the Niger women's team have qualified for. Adobe Oka, Nigeria, it rattles the goalpost. That would have been the fourth goal for them in the opening half. Esther to Oluchi. Another attempt, this time around missed narrowly by Mercy Chinere. That was the same position that she had the third for Nigeria. Goal kick to Niger, a swift one taken. And the third touch for goalkeeper Shukura Ayomide of Nigeria in the first half. She has been made idle, not her fault, on a holiday in a crucial tournament. All thanks to the exploits of her players. The outfield players are producing results, ensuring that everything that they were taught has indeed been implemented on the pitch of play. Khadija too once again goes to the ground. She seems to be having shoulder problem, and the Black Princesses are here together with their coach. They were in action yesterday. Coach Yusuf Bazigi, Mefi Enyami, who was on target, Mariam Ponsa, all of them. They are here in their numbers. Christopher Danjuma, coach of Falconets, having a word with Mercy. In terms of women's football, the development and how far Nigeria have evolved. Amina Bello to make it 4 for Nigeria, and Selfish by her manages to send a tease and cross aimed at finding a teammate, but that wasn't fruitful. Esther to Comfort. Comfort finding Oluchi. Nana Farida. And looking at the formation of Niger, 4-4-1. They opted for the 4-4-1-1 formation. And the likes of Rabi Latu, Mamani Ali, and then Nana Farida, who are supposed to lead the attack for Niger, they've been short of supplies. I says they just have to drop deeper to help their defenders and their midfielders absorb all the pressure that the Nigerians are giving them. In terms of African competition, the Falconets have qualified for all of these competitions. Nigeria at it again. And how did Adiobi not get a tap in? Both the right and the left flanks of Nigeria are very, very proactive. Another corner kick for Nigeria. 3-0. Sarira is having a word with her teammates. Corner kick. Oluchi to Esther. Esther raises her head. Goal kick. 40 minutes. Nigeria 3, Niger 0. Messi. The Falconets making things difficult. Esther wanted to draw the attention of the center referee Rita Nkasa that was a handball, but referee spotting it clearly indicated that wasn't meant to be. And as such, Niger would have to hope that they will get possessions. Messi. Oluchi. Nigeria, what a chance to make it 4. A whisker away, and that was because it took a deflection. Other than that, Adiobi Oka could have finally gotten her goal as well. And the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, she scored. She was on target in 2 games for Nigeria. Corner kick. Esther with a corner kick for Nigeria. A header. Niger finally clearing their lines. Temporal hold up. "42 minutes played with just 3 minutes to end the first half. The Nigerians have a very solid bench as well. And Okoyemi Ajakaye, who was on target, a player of Robo Queens. And this season, she scored quite a number of goals as well for them. When she had the call-up to the Falconets by their coach, Christopher Danjuma, she was really elated and made it known that she was here to give out her possible best and ensure that they go back to Nigeria with the title. But if you look at teams that are competing in this competition, the likes of Ghana, Burkina Faso, Togo, Niger, Ivory Coast, how would Nigeria walk away with ease? Two minutes to end the first half, awaiting the additional time that will be given by the center referee. Corner kick. Corner kick won by Nigeria. And that is the set piece that they've had the most in this opening half of the game. WAFU Zombie U20 Girls Cup. And it's 2 minutes of additional time. It's 2 minutes of additional time. Corner kick for Nigeria. Esther behind the ball. Good corner kick taken. And three players of Nigeria couldn't do what they wanted to do with just a tap in. Messi off target. Goal kick. She has already gotten a goal in this game. She's aiming for the second, which is a brace. Amina Bello. Adobe Oka wins throwing for Nigeria. Oluchi with a long throw. Nigeria is still with the possession, and that is Esther. Good delivery. Straight to Messi. Messi back to Oluchi. Will this be the fourth? Another corner kick for the Falconets. Corner kick with just a minute to end proceedings for the first half. And this corner kick has been taken by Victoria Alani. Rita Nkasa blows a whistle to end the first half of this game, the first game in Group B. It's Nigeria 3, Niger 0. If you look at how Niger were under pressure to only concede 3 goals, they need at least some level of commendation. Nigeria 3, Niger 0. The second half would have to be used for re-strategizing, regrouping by Niger. So Niger 0, Nigeria 3. 71 ball possession for Nigeria, 29 for Niger. 5 shots on target for Nigeria, 3 resulting in goals and none by Niger. 9 corners in the first half for Nigeria, none for Niger. 1 offside against Nigeria. 3 fouls committed by Nigeria, 7 by Niger, but none of the sides had either yellow card or red card. So first half ends at the Barbera Sports Stadium. Nigeria 3, Niger 0.
So me sorry anopa enam se me de nafa lady clean na siesie me hunti no eni chi a me de sorry efri mpam eye sonko adwuma mu nso me to make come me ho eye adwuma yie sane yese enam se me de nafa lady clean eni siesie me ho so people adwuma I can't or the best ye edem. Me stretch your cra, and nam send me the Nafa Lady Clean, and this yes, me home. Nafa Lady Clean, a feminine hygiene washer, a poor SSC or bar, what he fee, or mra won't think of one idea. Nafa Lady Clean. Feel confident with Nafa Lady. This advert has been vetted and approved by
Afei na twere ensem a ese monyi dua na ba mfa na haban ensa yale na abamu Dr. Tam da so ama oyalefo bia nya anidaso se ne yale befire ne so wo ebra wode nani akyerem wo medimafo heba clinic oyalefo ba ho na ohye na ebra empa ho gise de wawuo ana wasie no nko na ontumi abubuafo enante anifrafo esna panie stroke diabetes pressure ne yale enkan ne nyina aye entetia case wasiesie na yale sabia ho kama doctor se fakakra bi beje wayalesa wo kumase abuakwa agogo oyalefo bia kaise udimafo ye medimafo heba clinic Dr. Time Daso
To boss you. I don't want anything to go wrong on my baby's day. Yeah, in fact, what shamani munyam Hey, subhanallah. If it hey,
I'm already wearing a pad. Can I relax? No, my day is ruined, you guys. You don't understand.
take this.
Everyone is talking about it. It has a super soft cotton feel.
I've lived and need, but not you, my daughter. This is Reflow sanitary pads. They are heavy pads, have 4 wings to prevent leakages.
Once the Reflow Senkai, it's up to 10 hours of absorbency. The diapers are what JJ uses.
And one I'm a debua uniano manu na a strong cra. See,
everybody knows Acrobato, and if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. As an international journalist and actor, my health is my priority. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar in terms of my health. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Sister, please, you, let him talk to you. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesenami and Kasami Pro, let's say problems room. Intina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me kwan point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba ti ani je dia ba fie pa.
You heard everything yourself.
Me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nuru a ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's M-Punch for you. Of Acrobato.
Hello.
Hey, ohwehwe what che?
Okay.
A free bra wo di M-Punch wa dance. Me call you no. Me Jones sema na enkoyie e person na maye mre nyina na magina sabema na me be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa.
You heard everything.
I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Oh, Daddy. Ball let's go match. No power even. Oh, match ball ni. I'm afraid. We should carry it to cow.
Hi there, my name is Mutalai Akubu. I love sports and I know you do too, so I bring you the latest updates from the world of sports. Remember, it is the Sports Daily, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. live here on the biggest sports station in Ghana, that is Max TV. It is snappy, very entertaining and informative. Max TV, sports, entertainment and more.
My name is Miss London. I'm a mechanic, what people call fitter. Ajenkwa, is the car do automatic sound? I mean, before it stopped.
Exactly, London.
My name is Nabisola, Komo Lagos, Ghana. I be professional fitter.
So we are done with the body work, so you send me the moment and then we start spraying.
The Nigerian man is coming. Which Nigerian man? The one who put the lantern here yesterday.
The Banco seller, she's good serves. Hide under the car, under.
We brought our car here and we told them we have some valuables in the car. When we got here, they were eating our food. We confronted them and they nearly beat us.
Who took the food in the car?
I take you as my children. I'm feeding you and now you provoke me.
There is a pub across the street, so I'd want for us to go there, so I get you a bottle of drink.
The last time I drank shawarma black. I booze.
Miss London Express.
His Excellency President Oscar Hilton Wahaba.
Nanso enyi ya hawo dudu na no wenwe tuatefu yi de wo ya papa.
Mr. President ni wu anase bia na otoshima. E wu na obehye nanan.
Mushe nkumo bi o ka vendetta ko ne hu bia.
Wo nyina hu bia.
Ene ye mo.
Ojewa.
We ya ba.
Ebabo homo de se be Renato ni o metu mbone soka.
Eto akudie ni bia ka ho.
E mane hamu ye bebo amu.
Ebabo homo de se mo bia hwe ne nkwa.
Delisa ne nko fo na ba ho.
Ya kan fana do so sin. Na so de beti beja commander ho.
Eka ke ye beja ko bi se atenti abandata ko ni afamu no. Ni nyina tu be ka.
Sanko foi don baby bia so be din kuni wa election we mu.
Se untimi ni nkasa mani yaya eniye fa kwan foforo bi so na da bi so mo ese sanko fo ya de mo di be chiache na cha na da me jatum se obi di ale na esia gidi pass ni na hofo sa ma kwa brand ni papa
ene osu chai ni pegum no
me ma un frame sanko ale na sisia ye media e wo se kado ewu.
WAFU, I have a crush on you. And I know you feel the same way too. You don't have to pretend.
If you really love him, go to Ghana.
I love you, but I don't trust you.
I'm not here for work. If you want me to work, go back and come to bath you. You gonna bath me? I'm here for honeymoon.
You joining the military. You going with them.
Oh my days!
Like a little child.
That man when you have 40 so now walking. I feel no about that.
This is him. This is bad for my boyfriend.
Uncle is a gentleman. He doesn't do anything bad to anybody.
Ah! What? What is this?
I am not joining just any military. I'm American
military.
Nyankopɔn ni so no. Yen na ye nipa baako. Nanso nipa de, ne omo no mu de bo aten.
Max TV aka ne ho. Oba baako bi a owure infinite da.
Grandpa, me baba ye bibia, ebe bo nipa nyina.
O ma ka ne mati bi ho. Magda.
Adinti na ya wo hwe me sa. As a slow motion.
Inti ukroda be na obe worry.
Me de mani di obi achi dada.
Emi tia ni aya de adini dem.
Wonem tantan what? Madam, yes. Obebe se wodi sika be hye me se management mu.
Obo me nje ho. Nyipa bi ti da wo, woyi hu kwa da obaba ha.
Anim tia adina dwiri mu dem.
Mesusu se ye beto saa asem na won so yi a, eye awonwade no. Fa wadina aye ne basese sika ne mu yedu. Ayada wo yin obaje ho.
Nyama bebre wa babro mu a ehu hia sen sika. Bibi ti se obo.
Abaya wa ebe. Na Magda ya yonkofo. Yeso obe yo benyame mu kiti.
Hwe ne wa hu da yenye won kita hu ti bia.
Nti obe ya sisi ate. Ye ya adwene fi bibia do.
Obeso, senia misi ye meseme na no.
Iti o kana sisi ebusia ne ho. Ehimo defo, woni na mo ye ni pakwa ne fo.
Eja to fie ha eja.
Na mo ni na etia we soka.
Omu bo kwedu. Ewo ne awode ye omu aba wo ye wona na eyi no mo.
Ye bo Magdalena Mendoza for ewo kwedu ye di abono no.
Me ye nyame ogbonsam mpobufu a ento oba wasi bone kwam.
Woni na sisi ebusia no.
Eyo na be ma o meti omo bone soka.
Nabufuo no obi antimi nyina no.
Efri ndeko mede Lena.
Oba na share tompabuo.
Sisi amunya nkwan no munchi mu nipa na mo wiye na nkwan so ba. Enche kra na masemu nyina.
Midolena. Na so ba we de nya de ye mu bia kra nim no.
Aya hwan ya?
So penasem eno de nya de fa me ho kra.
Oh my god. Afeje. Ya sen shebia. Sisi abibie ntimi nsi ne kwan.
Era wa hen wonu chope na ya de twaso.
Sabu do ko wa eduhwamo a tie me sa wo nyan no enkoda.
Nti atentene a wo hwehwe no ebita.
Afede wa jinsem kra Lena.
E kwa wenko na metimi afa so nya areto. Se wonim se wo bebu maten a ende mesrew. Cha me na me honta me.
Obere ni masesa. Wadi akatua no abedu.
Enya je me chai ne asan je china. Ko se mesai o mabrabo nyina.
La vida Lena. Max TV agility.
Opia ankote.
Attention, Max TV Ashephonia. Max TV wants to reward its cherished viewers, so I've got some info to make your eyes sparkle. Into Ben with TV no Sisia and one novella watch and win. Step 1. Watch Max novellas very well every evening 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Ewo Max TV so. Step 2. Tune in Tuesday and Thursday 5 p.m. sharp for novella watch and win. Step 3. Call into the program and answer the novella questions. Who win ya? Who dem? Achedye bebre kwa. Rice cookers, blenders, irons, etc. etc. Enya denkra. Kai said Tuesday and Thursday 5 p.m. sharp only on Max TV, your home of quality novellas. And your novella watch and win. Max TV, sports, entertainment and more.
Welcome back to the Babayara Sports Stadium, the opening fixture in Group B for WAFU Zombie U20 Girls Cup that Ghana is hosting. The first half, a game involving Nigeria and Niger. First half, Nigeria had 3 goals. And the second half, this time around, Niger all in white, playing from right to left. And Nigeria in green, playing from left to right in the second half. What will these teams be bringing on board in the second half? Nigeria, they've been really fearsome in their final third. Offside was spotted by the center referees. I said it will be goal kick. And Oka Adiobi She so much wanted to at least get her name on the score sheet in the first half, but that couldn't materialize. Hopefully in the second half, with the coaching staff having seen what the shortfalls of the Nigerian team were in the first half and making corrections, these teams and these players would ensure that they let their coaches be proud of them at the end of the game. Christopher Danjuma, the head coach of the Falconets, was part of those new coaches that were announced by the Nigerian Football Federation prior to the Falconets' participation in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica. Victoria Alani to Esther. Victoria in the second half in a very good combination with Esther, hoping to extend the lead for the Nigerians. That ball. Oluchi. Victoria Alani to Amina Bello. Penalty for Nigeria. An easy decision for retiring Cancer to make. She was clipped into right in the penalty area of Niger, and Adiobi Oka has fancied to take this for Nigeria, and that would mean that if she scores, Nigeria would have 4 goals to be good. It will be a very good cushion. Adiobi against Samira of Niger. Penalty, scoring from the spot kick. She scores so calmly. Great composure by Adiobi to make it 4 for Nigeria. 40 minutes more for Niger in this game. Adiobi Oka with a goal. Finally, she gets to add her name to the score sheet. Nigeria 4, Niger 0. 50 minutes played. So Niger would have to start from the scratch and continue with their fervent prayer of not allowing Nigeria to record their biggest win as they did in a major competition way back in 2014 when they played against Sierra Leone. 10-0 for the Falconets in that game, and that has been their biggest win in all competitions. They are 4 already with 40 minutes to go. Can they break the record that they set way back in 2014 of getting 10 goals or perhaps more than that? Nigeria once again, another strike, missed narrowly. Goal kick. Goal kick for Niger. The WAFU B U20 Girls Cup, a maiden tournament altogether. All the football federations in the West African sub-region are so much interested in developing their football. Nigeria had a lot of reps of club at the recently held CAF Women's Champions League. They have a very active league, so producing players for such major tournament has never been a cause for worry to the Nigerian Football Federation. If you look at their goalkeeper, Shukurat Bakari, who plays for Ido Queens, with 7 clean sheets to her credit this season. And the good job that has been done by Oluchi and the likes of Esther. Niger left off the hook through that infringement given to them. And Khadija too, for the 4th time, goes to the ground. She seems to be battling with a shoulder injury. As she approached the 55th minute of the game, a referee requesting that she is stretched off and attended off the pitch for the game to continue. Live on Max TV is the WAFU Zone B. It would interest you to know that the president of the WAFU Zone B doubles as the president of the Ghana Football Association. Esther Zenabu Abdul for Niger. Nigerians win possession in less than a microsecond. They have the chance to make it 5 NFS. Nigeria 5, Niger 0. Esther Okweyemi Ajakaye gets the feed goal. She's on hat-trick. She has gotten the first hat-trick of this competition. Esther Okweyemi Ajakaye, very good with the ball. Nigeria 5, Niger 0. A difficult day, a tough day in office. A very extremely tough day. Okweyemi Esther, a player of Robo Queens, replicating what she does at the club level for Nigeria in this tournament. And she sets a different record for herself. The first player to get the hat-trick in the maiden edition of the WAFU Zone B U20 girls competition. Five more goals for Nigeria to make sure that they break their own record that is set in 2014. Esther with a long drive, at least Amina Bello to Victoria. Esther would make it 6. She missed. What exactly was Esther thinking of? Esther could have easily made it 6 for Nigeria. She had a very clear view and marked. Niger staggering. They are really fumbling to even string 1 or 2 passes. Amina Bello. Amina with a ball for Nigeria. Motions forward, trying to get a player that is well positioned to release the ball to her. Shukrat Oladipo. Esther. Back to Victoria Alani. Nigerians scoring for fun, taking their time, striking at their own peril, striking at their own time, striking when they think that they need to do it once again. Nigeria, Ahmed Chaibu with a timely intervention of clearance for Niger. Amina Bello, but Suraya Abdul intercepts Niger out of their shots for the first time. Nana Farida Ila, who is positioned up front, couldn't get this ball. Another to at least surge and get Niger's first counter in this game. So it implies that in terms of the stats, it will still remain the same in the second half with the dominance of the Falconets in this game. Free kick, Aduobi winning the free kick for Nigeria. And Nigerians are about to make a change in this game. And this change will see the introduction of Taiwo Afolabi to replace Shukrat Oladipo. Job done by Oladipo. Free kick, Esther. Goal kick. With 60 minutes, the hour mark. Nigeria 5, Niger 0. Ghana had 3 goals yesterday. Nigeria have gotten 5. We have another game at 6 p.m. Esther goes for goal. It's just across the face of goal. Goal kick. Another game at 6 p.m. and that game would be a game that would involve Burkina Faso and Togo. So for Group B, Nigeria would have 3 points plus 5 goals. But those goals can even increase before the game ends. Pascaline Zainab Henry Leonard for Niger. They can't even have 2 accurate passes in this game. That has been the awful start. They are just running as the clock keeps ticking. Running across and ensuring that their anchor can hold. They are hoping to be optimistic in their quest not to be humiliated by this very potent Nigerian team. Victoria Alani The referee gets in the way. In the 20 and the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, Nigeria have been runners-up in 2010 and in 2014. They've come fourth in the 2012 edition of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. If you're looking for the successful team across the globe and on the continent, Nigeria are that team. Esther with a very good pass to Amina Bello. Diko Abdullahi of Niger. Before the corner kick is taken by Nigeria. With 18 minutes to end the game. Victoria Alani waiting for the referee's instruction before she goes ahead with the corner kick. And Nigeria will make their second substitution. Flourish Sebastian is coming in to replace Amina Bello. And Danjuma gives her a warm embrace. On the right side of attack, she really added up, she beefed up, she spiced up the Nigerian team. Nigeria with a chance to make it 6. Corner kick. Another corner kick for Nigeria. And that is the early impact by Flourish of Nigeria. Esther, goal kick. This tournament, being hosted by Ghana, would continue till the 3rd of June. And in the second half, Shukura Bakari of Nigeria, their goalkeeper, she hasn't even been served with a pass by her own teammate. She's totally idle. A blunder resulting in a goal for the set. What was Samira thinking of? Nigeria 6, Niger 0, and Victoria Alani is on target. She tried her luck with a very direct strike. Nigeria 6, a long range one. A howler by Samira Adams. What was she trying to do with her legs instead of making the saves? Nigeria 6, Niger 0. "65 minutes on the clock. Victoria, the lady who just scored, wins free kick for Nigeria. The scoreboard is looking very beautiful for the Falconets. Esther. But Nana Farida is out. Rabi Mamani Ali throw it to Nigeria. We are approaching the 70th minute, but Niger are yet to have a shot on target. They had none in the first half, and so far in the second half they haven't gotten any. Flourish to Afolabi. Oluchi for Nigeria. Back to Esther Opeyemi, the lady with a hat-trick. Goal kick. 80 strike at all. Once it's on target, the probability of it resulting in a goal at the moment can be 75%. Zainabu Abdul to Pascaline Zainab Henry. Only two players of Niger had a touch on the ball, and Nigeria took possession back. Other tournaments would be organized as well by WAFU Zone B in the month of July. Just as the girls have taken their part for this year's edition, the men will do the same in the month of July this year. Chidima. And this is the first touch for Shukra in the second half. And that was even for the fact that Chidima gave her a pass. She's virtually having a recovery session on the field in an active game, all due to the lack of proactiveness of Niger Afront. Flourish to Victoria. Diko Traore, Farida for Niger. In other games, on Tuesday and on Wednesday and coming weekend, host nation Ghana would be in action as they face Ivory Coast. Flourish, the substitute. Goal kick, 70 minutes. Ahmed played the ball against Flourish. 70 minutes, Nigeria 6, Niger 0. Free kick to Niger. Victoria committed that foul. Free kick. The Falconets of Nigeria are hoping to leave Ghana with a trophy. But the likes of Mariam Ponsa of the Ghana and that of Ivory Coast, all of them contending and contesting seriously for this title, And that was the set goal scored by Victoria Alani. What a break for the teams. Chance for the coaches to have the last pep talks with these players before the game continues. In Group A, there are 3 teams. That is Ghana, Benin, and Ivory Coast. In Group B, there are 4 teams. Nigeria, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Togo. So that means each of these teams in Group B would be playing 3 matches. However, those in Group A would be playing 2 matches. Ghana played 1, Benin equally played 1. So both of them have only 1 match left. However, Ivory Coast have 2 matches to play. Shukura. Comfort. Nigeria on the counter once again. That is what they've done the most in this game. Always taking the ball, they are always direct and very precise with their attacks. Messi to Victoria. Esther heads. And Samira comes out. She has conceded 6 goals in this game. You might say she has done well because she received 10 from Ghana. She received 11 from Ghana. But there are over 15 minutes to end the game, and that means she might concede again. Zainabu Abdul for Niger with a back flick to no intended target. Oluchi for Nigeria. Shukura gets her 3rd touch of the ball in the second half. Messi to Victoria Alandodi. Esther throw in. Women's football in Africa with time has indeed developed. Although teams haven't lived up to expectations, even those that couldn't perform, those that weren't having female teams and clubs, they have started ensuring that they get these clubs. And the recent introduction of the CAF Women's Champions League by the Confederation of African Football was the climax of it all, because clubs who excel in their respective leagues across the African continent get the chance to play in the Champions League. Nigeria, who had Bayelsa Queens in the just ended season, they won the WAFU Zone B Championship that took place when Ghana had their participants to be Ampem Dakwan ladies. Shukra with the 4th. Nigeria offside against Nigeria. Free kick taken by Niger, but that kick reached where Comfort is. In the first half, Nigeria had 70% ball possession. The second half has been different. Nigeria with a chance to make it 7. She couldn't get the desired strike to make it 7 for Nigeria. But Esther Okweyemi, the executioner this time around, turned assister.
Number 14, Khadijatu Abdul.
Niger making substitutions. Nana Fauzautu Ibra comes in. And that is the first substitution that has been made by Niger with just 13 minutes to end the game. Free kick to Niger. Niger would have this as a relief. Hopefully they will bounce back in their second and their third game. But for Nigeria, it's a lost cause. They can't battle out with Nigeria in this game. They've been outplayed, outclassed, outscored 6-0 against Niger. Their coach might possibly commend them for doing their best, because it's not always easy to play against quality. Great interception by Hamid. Esther Okweyemi before Hamid intercepted. But just when they thought that Khadija too could control, she did something else. $80 minutes. Nigeria with a free kick. And this free kick is at a very good position though. They could make it 7. Had it not been that reflection, it was goal bound. Corner kick. To Nigeria. Esther to Victoria Alani. Back to Esther. Niger win the possession for only a few seconds. Flourish for Nigeria. Victoria. WAFU Zombie U20 Girls Cup. If it's just joined, that is the game you are watching, involving Nigeria and Niger. Two teams who are not at par in terms of quality. The Nigerian team has seen it all, both on the continental base and the global base. On the other hand, the Nigerian team is a team that was recently formed less than 2 years ago, and they are on the verge of trying to at least also write their own scripts and write their own stories. The scoreline isn't a true reflection of how the game has really turned out to be. Although Niger have conceded 6, credit must be given to Niger for having their ankles hold in this trying times. Third pro hold up. Chaibu of Niger. That was the first strike that Chaibu had to block, and it came at a cost. It really came at a cost for them. The referee requesting that at least the player goes off the pitch in order for her to be properly attended to whilst the game continues. 2002 was the first time Nigeria, their Falconets, had their maiden edition in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, and since then it's history, they always say. Corner kick. Esther Okpeyemi, who has gotten the first hat-trick of this tournament, is the one who won the corner kick for Nigeria. With 5 minutes only on the dot and on the clock for the game to end. Nigeria with their third substitution, Chioma Olise, is coming in for Esther Onyedize. With 5 minutes to end the game. Corner kick taken by Nigeria. A strike, Samira Gades. She did it competently this time around for Niger, because this is one of the strikes that really has a very hot swerve and spin on it. You look at the fixtures of the other games that will take place, and you look at the performance that has already been put up by the likes of teams like Ghana, like Nigeria, and in a bit, Burkina Faso together with Togo. And you would wonder how easy it would be for the team that would end up being victorious. But this is a virgin tournament, a maiden one. it implies that the prestige it comes along with the honor is a different altogether. Victoria. But Pascaline Zainab intercepts nicely. Nana Farida for Niger. But Nigeria have gotten the ball back and are slowly building. Esther Ubeyemi to Victoria Alani. These two players, all of them have been on target so far for Nigeria. Another player of Niger on the ground with just 3 minutes to end the game. For Niger, even with their men's team, they had their maiden edition, had a feel of the African Cup of Nations for the men in 2019. And this is the first tournament that the under-20 team of Niger are participating in. Two minutes to end a difficult day in office for the Niger under-20 team. Victoria. Ahmed. On the other hand, in defense for Niger, has equally been a spark. If you look at how matured and comported she has emerged to have been in this game, despite how resilient and resolute the Nigerians have been and consistent in the attacks. Free kick to Niger and Flourish was the offender. At 6 p.m. there is another live game, and that is equally for Group B, Burkina Faso versus Togo. Adobe, one of the scorers in today's game. Ogbeyemi, the hat-trick getter for Falconets, and Victoria Alani with 1 goal. The 90 minutes is up, awaiting the additional minutes from the 4th official. Victoria, would they get a goal that will be an icing on the cake for them? Nigeria, 4 minutes of additional time. It's 4 minutes before this long day ends for Niger, and these a huge number of minutes that Nigeria can get an addition, and they do. 6 is now 7 goals for Nigeria. They are only 3 goals away from breaking their own record Nigeria 7, Niger 0. Flourish started the attack. Look at this dip for a pass. And the header, a stooping one by Chioma Olise, the substitute. So 2 substitutes combining to give Nigeria their 7th goal. Flourish with the assist. And Chioma with the goal. 7 goals for Nigeria. Nigeria 7, Niger 0. 3 more minutes for Niger. WAFU Zombie U20 Girls Cup live on Max TV. In your shot was Esther Ogbeyemi, the player who has given us the first hat-trick of this competition. And that is the scoreline, beautifully screened for the viewers. Amina Bello. Chidima to Victoria Alani. Esther Ogbeyemi back to Victoria. Esther Ogbeyemi Ajakaye has been adjudged as the MVP of this game. She had hat-trick. Nigeria to make it 8. Samira Wall alert denies Nigeria the 8th goal. Samira with one of her heroics to deny Nigeria with the 8th goal. So the scoreline was still remain Nigeria 7, Niger 0. And the 4 minutes is up. A referee might blow her whistle any moment from now to end the game. And there she does. The game ends. Group B of the WAFU U20 Girls Cup here at the Babaya Sports Stadium. It's Nigeria 7, Niger 0. And that is the scoreline to open Group B. Awaiting that of Burkina Faso and Togo at 6 p.m. Christopher Danjuma is all smiles, the coach of Nigeria. His girls have delivered. They have made him proud. Nigeria 7, Niger 0. Nigeria with the 3 points and 7 goals. Niger with none. 68% ball possession in the second half for Nigeria. 32 for Niger. 11 shots on target for Nigeria. None in the entire 90 minutes. Niger couldn't get a shot on target. 14 corners for Nigeria. None for Niger. 3 offside against Nigeria. And then none against Niger. But none of the two teams had a yellow card or a red card. So the game ends Nigeria 7, Niger 0. Esther Okpeyemi Ajakaye is the player that you are seeing who has been adjudged the MVP of this game, and she is the player with a record of getting the first hat-trick in the maiden edition of the WAFU U20 Girls Tournament that has been introduced. She had 3 goals. Esther Okpeyemi, the MVP of this game, and she would soon be given her award for coming up with that performance. She smiles to the camera. She deserves to. Great job done. She sets a record, a different record on her own that she has done for the Falconets. And this is what she has always been doing, just as she did for her team, Robo Queens. She's still awaiting to be given her award for being the spark in this game. Out of the 22 players that played in this game, she excelled. She was the sensation. She indeed gave her all possible best out in that game. And she would soon be interviewed by Max TV host Nafisa.
It's all over here at the Babayara Sports Stadium where Nigeria beats Niger by 7-0. I have here the MVP player with me. Good afternoon, Esther. Nigeria won 7-0 unanswered goal from Niger. How does it sound to the Nigerian team? How is it to the Nigerian team?
We are very excited and we are very happy because this is our first match and we are happy.
Okay, you in particular, you won the woman of the match. How is it to you and your teammates?
I'm very happy. I'm very, very excited for me winning the first woman of the match of this tournament. I'm very happy.
Okay, you being the second, this match day 2, and then you are the second person to win because obviously yesterday Ghana was in action and then one person won from there. Do you play your football in Nigeria?
Yes.
How is the Nigerian team or the league like?
It's very, very good, and that's where they produce some young player. There's grassroots player and there's premier team. Like me, I play in premier, so I play from under 17. So I graduated to under 20.
Okay, so do you move from here after under 20?
After under 20, I moved to Super Falcon.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Esther.
you very much.
So that was the MVP player I have been speaking with. She's happy and she's saying from here definitely she moves forward and not backwards. So that's Ajakai that we've been speaking to. So I'll be having Prince Annan with me, joining me to just wrap up the show here today. Nigeria beating Niger 7-0. How does it feel like? What is the exercise all about from CAF?
Well, thank you very much, Nafisa. I think that we must doff our hats off first for CAF in general, the Ghana Football Association in particular, for putting this WAFU Zone B competition together. It is to help unearth the talent that we have dotted around the West African terrain. So we are going to see Ghana participating against teams like Nigeria, Niger, Benin, Burkina Faso, etc., etc. It's also part of the qualification process. You know, we need to build teams to take over from the Super Eagles, the black queens, as it were, the black princesses. We need to build that base, and I think it's a step in the right direction to see these young girls. They've shown a lot of class, a lot of talent. The Nigerians, without a doubt, we know how good they are when it comes to West African football and indeed African football. I was particularly impressed about their opponents, the Nigerians. They came in with nothing. You remember they had to come through Ghana early enough to test the terrain. Ghana beat them by 11-0, but they were still unperturbed. Came into this game. We saw some glimpses of brilliance in there. I think, and I want to believe, that should we give them a lot more opportunity and a lot more support, effort will be put into building a formidable under-20 base across the West African sub-region. And who knows, it shouldn't be Ghana, Nigeria dominating, but we should have a threshold that we can say we are proud of when it comes to the terrain. Because who knows, we could have these same young girls graduating to the top level and even playing at the World Cup, if not the Africa Cup.
Also, this is how CAF has brought in this youth tournament for the girls, not to be dominant, but at least to exercise, and then the sub-region itself, within the West African sub-region, we have, this is another zone. So, I mean, we have the other West African countries also competing in their zones as well. So, this is where we have the 7 countries meeting, and then we'll progress from there. So, Ghana and Nigeria are the giants in this zone, but the rest we will see much more talent, and then we say congratulations to CAF for bringing this competition. So we just need to wrap up, and then we'll be back for the remaining match, Burkina Faso and Togo.
Sure.
So Prince, your final remarks for this match in particular?
This match has showed a lot of class. The Nigerians obviously are there. I saw the coach with a grin on his face. I think he's comfortable with the win, but I'm sure he also knows that there's a lot more room for improvement. Sitting up there with the fans, the talk is let Ghana meet Nigeria.
Okay, so always Ghana and Niger, we will meet and then we'll see how it goes. Obviously, maybe it might happen, it might not happen. No one knows. It's a tournament, so that is it. So we'll be back again for Togo and then Burkina Faso match. But it's this program is brought to you by Midimafo Herbal Clinic, Reflow Sanitary Pad, Endpoint Homeopathic, Max Buy and Nafa Feminine Wash. So we'll be back again to bring you the match between Burkina Faso and Togo. See you in the next minute.
Sorry, anopa, and now some didn't Nafa Lady Clean, me hunti no. And it's ya me sorry if rim pem, yes.